They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty.
Well done, soldier.
Yeah, they're hating alright. So I just watched the latest episode of Halo, I think. I mean, Long John was there, and he didn't talk, which was fantastic. And he almost kept his helmet on too. But the rest of the episode...
What the hell was that?
I'm not even sure where to start with this one, guys. It was fucked. Like, proper fucked. Like some spanner at Paramount had huffed a shitload of permanent marker and paint stripper before inking the script. I know I haven't exactly been singing this show's praises so far, but holy shit, I did not expect them to start digging when they hit rock bottom. Even alleged fans of the show hated this episode. Hey Paramount, that's a fair indicator that you should stop focusing on Panda Bait's arc, if you can call it an arc, and focus on the Human Covenant War, if there even is one at this point. Well, I guess I better summarise what happened, if I can make any sense of it at all. The episode opens with a flashback to 2 years ago. Panda Bait and General Fu Manchu are having a dinner with their happy-go-lucky terrorist friends. This scene's meant to be endearing, feel bad that they died, goddammit. Anyway, old Shish Kebab from episode 1 is trying to woo Panda Bait.
I love you.
Fuck off.
And she's all like, I don't need no man, you're bad leader, father. Then she leaves and looks out across the desert. Cut to the present day, and Panda Bait is rolling through the desert in a dune buggy. Before long, she enters a sandstorm and she gets bagged. Roll credits. Please be dead. For the love of God, be dead. Cut to Rubber Arm and his band of merry pirates. What the fuck is going on here? Did Paramount watch a whole heap of Gilbert and Sullivan and decide that this is what the future of space piracy looks like? This is next level. Check out the 70s flares on these dickheads' pants. Jesus Christ, Paramount. You didn't even try not to copy the Book of Boba Fett's homework. There are no words I can use to describe this scene without copying a massive banhammer from YouTube. Anyway, then the leader of this fabulous pirate band challenges Rubber Arm's authority in front of everyone, and Rubber Arm big dogs him. Oh, I should have said strong-armed. That would have been way funnier. How is anyone meant to take this exchange seriously when they're dressed like that? Cut to an episode of Game of Thrones, or The Rings of Power, or a Hollywood workplace diversity advisor's wet dream, or Strong Woman City, or We Ran Out of Money 2 episodes ago, or Cringe Camp. I could go on, but you get the idea. It's shit. And Panda Bait is once again yelling at the person in charge, who I'm going to call Diverse Not Yoda Lady, and she says she's not ready. Hey Paramount, I don't think anyone is ready for what you're about to do to this show. Appropriately enough, we cut to the Game of Thrones governor. In this episode, he will be playing the toxic white male antagonist that Panda Bait's going to lay the smackdown on in order to bring peace and justice to all the repressed people in the galaxy. The GOTG is spouting some poetry about how shit the planet of Madrigal is and how these witches, quote unquote, made General Ha so dangerous. Yeah, he looked real dangerous in episode 1. A friendly reminder here, guys, that it was the Covenant that killed General Ha and all Panda Bait's family and friends because the show seems to have forgotten that point. Cut back to The Rubble, which at this point could be a B-grade science fiction show due to how unoriginal the production design is here, and Squirrel and Rubber Arm are having a heart-to-heart about stealing some shit from the UNSC. Oh shit, I've been using footage from The Expanse. Cut back to the Dothraki hut from Game of Thrones Season 1, and diverse female Not Yoda Lady is telling Panda Bait all about her forefather's forefather.
I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate.
She explains that great-great-granddad Panda Bait discovered a well, and at that well, some time traveller gave him magic powers that were passed down through the generations to General Shu and now to Panda Bait herself. What? Magic? Time-travelling being? Ah, shit. Medic! Medic! Hey, Professor Pompous, can you take over for a minute? I think the boss is dead.
It would be my great pleasure. Good evening, fellow connoisseurs of cinema. I am your new host, Professor D.H. Pretentious. Join me as we deep dive into the strong themes of hypermasculinity, repression of female empowerment, and latent homoeroticism displayed in this episode of Paramount Plus's stunningly brave show, Halo. We begin with the title of the episode, Inheritance, which is a clear allegory for Kwan Ha's acceptance of her father's failings due to his hypermasculinity and his repressed homosexual desires towards this man. This is made manifest in the actions of the Covenant elites, the way they thrust their powerful double-shafted weapons into their non-consenting victims, a clear representation of Freud's id, the dark desires of all men made clear. To first understand the Freudian id, we must first examine the abject other of the Covenant, who are very cleverly absent throughout the series due to the fact that they represent the dark and often repressed homosexual desires of lead male characters. Their absence, in fact, an allegory for that sexual repression. The message is so clear that it's laughable that anyone could have missed it. But you know what they say when dealing with Freudian analysis. If it's not one thing, it's your mother.
All good, Professor. Just a mild aneurysm. He's good to go.
Oh, I was just getting started. No matter. Now please excuse me while I pay a commoner to sexually satisfy my wife while I watch from the corner.
Sorry guys, there's only so much stupidity I can process all at once. It's a good thing I'm a gelatinous blob without any grey matter, otherwise that aneurysm may have killed me. Speaking of, Panda Bait drinks some fire stick clap juice and she has some crazy vision. The fact that Long John actually acts like Chief in this scene is fucking wild. Hey, the MVP's back. Good to see you, mate. Thank God he's here to explain whatever the fuck is going on in this scene. Then Panda Bait envisions herself fighting Long John Silver with the chain. Stomp on her head! She has limited to no success beating John, so she turns to Old Faithful.
I'll just bash it with a rock!
But this time it doesn't work and she has a good cry about it.
What do you want from me?
I want Pablo to stop taking his helmet off. I want you out of this show, and I want some competent writers brought in to fix my favourite sci-fi franchise. Then Long John guides Panda Bait to a wishing well, and the faceless man from Game of Thrones reveals himself as her father. So, is he like a force ghost, or a memory ghost, or...
A blob of mustard, a crumb of cheese. Yes, there's more of gravy than of grave about you.
The ghost of Tsushima tells Panda Bait that she is now the guardian of the portal. If that fucking wishing well leads to Halo, I swear to fucking God. Ghost of Tsushima then tells Panda Bait that she's always been better and stronger than he ever was. Well, she is good at bashing shit with rocks. I'll give her that. Anyway, she's sad that the Game of Thrones governor's men are gunning for her and she's all alone now. Isn't that your own fault? Didn't you make it a point to ditch everyone and run away to start this civil war, and now that you have it, you don't want to play anymore?
How ironic. No, that's not ironic. Ironic would be if we had to work together to hurt each other.
No, ironic would be, instead of that guy kidnapping Lopez, Lopez kidnapped him.
I think it would be ironic if our guns didn't shoot bullets, but instead squirted a healing salve that cured all wounds.
I think it would be ironic if everyone was made of iron.
Oh look, a series adapted from Halo that's funny, faithful, and that everybody enjoyed. How did that get in there? Then the Ghost of Tsushima tells Panda Bait to go back to where it all started. This is confirmed by Diverse Not Yoda Lady, and Panda Bait heads back out to the cost-saving solution of reusing the set from episode 1 for the third act of this episode. Just in case you forgot that this isn't some high fantasy magic bullshit show, cut to Rubber Arm pulling a heist in space and dropping a pallet on Freddy Tightpants' foot. Rubber Arm then has a heart-to-heart with his misso, who tells him that Kwan is still alive because the Game of Thrones governor has tripled the bounty on her. The GOTG then grabs P. Goski's cousin off the street, probably, I don't know, and interrogates her. He learns nothing and then shoots her in the back.
Nazi!
Fortunately, the GOTG had a drone hovering over the cost-saving solution and now knows where Panda Bait is. How bloody lucky was that? Fuck, he would have had no hope to find her otherwise. Excellent timing. Turns out Rubber Arm shares this good fortune and turns up just in time to conduct a couple of really B-grade fight sequences and assist Panda Bait to overthrow the GOTG. Despite their overwhelming firepower, UAS and superior numbers, the GOTG's men are unable to find and kill Panda Bait or Rubber Arm before Panda Bait destroys her father's refinery, kills the GOTG and his goons. The episode ends with Rubber Arm departing Madrigal having earned Panda Bait's respect, and Panda Bait having found 117's rifle from episode 1. A symbolic passing of the torch, perhaps. Directed by Jessica Lowry. I wonder what her experience is directing big-budget science fiction. Great choice, Paramount. This Sheila was definitely the right bloke for the job. What a fucking mess again. Somehow every week this show finds a way to impress me with how terrible their writing, direction, cinematography and basic quality is. You know what time it is, guys. That's right, time to nitpick. Why does this episode look like it was something left over from the Game of Thrones B-reel? They had to shoehorn in Rubber Arm into this episode to make sure that it looked even remotely science fiction, let alone an episode of Halo. Magic, time travel, ghosts. You know when Halo fans hear the word ghost, right, they think about something like this?
Whoa, cowboy!
What the fuck is this fantasy shit doing in Halo? This isn't Game of Thrones or Star Wars with mystics and the Force. This is Halo. Many of the Halo novels border on hard science fiction because they're grounded with real technology that is believable. The closest thing Halo ever had to any fantasy bullshit was the Forerunners, and they're not high fantasy. Greg Bear made a point of that in his trilogy. They use super advanced technology that blurs the line between science and magic, and even that couldn't stop their inevitable destruction. Halo is defined by militaristic themes and tropes, and despite how good Forerunner and Covenant technology is, it has limitations. It has an origin, and it's all based on scientific progression and believable technology. It is grounded and it takes itself seriously. Therefore, we believe the sci-fi world in which it all takes place. This is garbage, and really rams home how fucking lazy Paramount's writers are. They needed this episode to happen to keep Panda Bait relevant to their story, to the point of giving her John's fucking rifle that he threw away in episode 1 in a moment that was completely contradictory to his character from the canon. They couldn't think of a logical way to keep Panda Bait even connected to their own story. Give her a fucking portal that her family's guarded for generations. How will she learn about it? Don't know. Fucking magic. I wonder how this wishing well is going to progress the story of the show.
Find the Halo. Win the war.
Eat my ink, CBS. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at all the creativity that the Halo writers have in their arsenal. An episode that barely holds itself together with a series of coincidences, lucky plot contrivance, and severe plot armour to get Panda Bait, Rubber Arm, and the Game of Thrones governor to where they needed to be for the wishing well to be discovered. When Paramount can't milk the aesthetic of Halo and superficially gloss over their poor writing with props, costumes, or sets, this is what we are left with. A generic, illogical, agenda-pushing mess that never should have made it past the first script edit. How can you fucking sit there and say,
we just kept iterating and discovering together what the show is and how it's going to, create its own universe equal to and separate from the game, and just give fans an amazing ride, whether they know the game for 20 years or they're new to it.
And produce this crap. No long-time Halo fan, or new Halo fan by the looks of it, give a flying rice hat about Panda Bait and her bullshit rebellion, which apparently she's already fucking won nearly all by herself. Do I even need to talk about how accommodating the GOTG's goons are with their accuracy, if they even had a weapon when they encountered Panda Bait or Rubber Arm? Or how fire and kinetic energy won't pass through this door that has vents and at least 2 plasma sword shaped entry holes in it from episode 1 where they killed Prince of Persia? Or that the GOTG had a fucking drone that just happened to be over the refinery at that exact moment? Or the fact that Rubber Arm knew exactly where Panda Bait was by the same token? Or that no one has been able to find this gypsy camp despite finding Panda Bait in under 5 minutes when they were looking for her? I didn't think so, because even a jellyfish that has recently suffered an aneurysm can see how stupid and contrived this all is. Also, I know I'm late to the party, but is Panda Bait still wearing the same blood-stained clothes from episode 1? With blood stains that look like fucking red paint? How has she not had time to ditch that smelly paint-stained attire? How much time has passed since then? A day? A week? Because Long John's been out to Eridness 2 and back in that time. Don't think about it. Paramount clearly haven't. Also, it's not like Paramount haven't pissed me off thoroughly already with their poor portrayal of the Covenant. But then you have this.
Oh, is that what the aliens look like?
Humanity has been at war with these aliens for years, according to Margaret Parangosky in the first episode. I said before that it's so fucking bizarre that the outer colonies haven't seen them, and here's proof. What should be the all-powerful, indomitable force that is to be feared throughout the galaxy driving your story forward, they've been reduced to a corpse for the sake of a cheap joke. I don't care what Paramount does with the Covenant from this point, there's no redeeming what they've done so far. It's all too little too late as far as I'm concerned. I could continue to rip this episode apart until the cows come home from Twitter, but I came here to review Halo, and I don't see anything here that remotely resembles it. But remember, I'm just a brainless lump who's hiding the pain this show is causing me behind a smile. Hooroo!